Welcome back to the channel everybody, and welcome back to the garage. So after a jubilant last episode where I got the engine running perfectly, everything sorted, very happy about all that, it's time to move on to the rear end of the bike, get that put together and get this whole build moving towards that fantastic first ride. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so next stage, happy with the engine now, got the tick over good. I've just swapped out the coolant for the final coolant as well after putting a wash through it. So I need to build up the back end now. So swing arm is next, and then we'll start looking at the rear brake and all the other bits of paraphernalia around the foot peg area. So rear swing arm, let's get it on. Oh, I say rear swing arm, it's not like there's a front swing arm, is it? Just need to route these pipes out of the way for a second, work out where they're going to fit into the big picture. Okay, roughly lined up. And it just needs a little bit of persuasion to go through the last little bit. Okay, that's the bolt in. Let's get the nut on. There we go. 80 foot-pounds. Swing arm bolt in. So continuing with the swing arm. We're going to fit this piece in first, which goes in here. So there's only one of these suspension bolts seized in position when I took it off, which is not a bad result, I guess, but I'm struggling to get that through. There we go, there she goes. There she goes. And then the nut on the end. So next on here we have the main block. The hardest part with this is remembering which way it goes. That's better. That's much better. So a lot of these bolts only go in from one side, this being one of those bolts, and this is a large cap head hex drive bolt, and this one was semi-seized. I think it was the cap head that was semi-seized in the structure. So just put a nice coat of grease on there just to try and prevent that happening. Okay, and that's started in the thread. Down. There we have it. Got a support arm on the outside and the main block in the middle. So the main block goes between the 3 points there, there, and the shock absorber in the middle there. Then this arm attaches to the chassis. All re-bearinged, all re-greased, and just need torquing up. So rear brake components cleaned up, new brake hose fitted, just waiting for some new pads, should be in the post tomorrow, but we'll get this fitted. Okay, so we've got a new seal on there, dust seal, ready fitted, greased up, and pop it through the hole. Okay, next job is put on the brake pivot, rear brake pivot, put a bit of grease on the splines. Okay, so we got that on, but now the oil seal's nowhere near. And then we push that up, and that will hold it in place. Okay, so arm is on. Arm is on. Okay, so let's fasten up the pinch bolt, and that's all good. And we just give that a little bit of nipping up, and that is lovely. Okay, so that's in place, and now we've just got to attach the paraphernalia to the back. Okay, so we've got the got the rear brake cylinder located behind there with the rod coming out underneath there. It's all very, very tight in here, so it's just take me a minute or two to get that into position and just nip the bolts up. Okay, so cylinder attached here. We've got the brake light switch here, and that's attached by a spring to the back of the mechanism down here. And then as we come down, we've got the bottom of the cylinder, the rod is attached here to the end of the brake foot pedal. Need to put a split pin in the back of there still, and then a spring on the bottom of that to the frame, and there's the brake pedal itself. So now we have all the, still needs adjustment, but we've got all the correct operation there. You can see it pulling the brake light switch there, and the return there. Like I say, just adjust here and then tighten up, and we are good. But that is a fiddly thing to put on. Oh, and the brake reservoir up here, of course. That was a fiddly thing to put on, so that's taken about 2 hours to get that on. and that's not including the cleaning. But anyway, rear brake on. In the meantime, I've put on the right hand foot peg, and now I'm going to put on the left hand foot peg, which also involves the side stand switch, and I'll put the side stand on as well, all being well. I think I've got all the bits for it. So yeah, left hand foot peg and accoutrements. Let's do that. So this is the assembly that goes on first, and then everything attaches to that. So it's a pretty beefy bracket, it's fair to say. So let's get that in place. A couple of M10 bolts all greased up. And I have tapped out the holes just to clean them up as well. Okay, 54 foot-pounds is what the manual says for these. Lovely stuff. Bolt into the stand, and just get one of the washers on, the one with the larger diameter. First washer in place. Second washer in place. So stand in place. Quite a lot of play on it, which is normal. And then lock nut on the front. Okay, lock nut in place. So let's pull that into the up position. Should be a bit shorter reach. Oh, it's a lot shorter. Wow, that was easy. And all the slack's gone now, it feels a lot better. Oh, that feels beautiful. And looks beautiful. But the spring's been away for plating. Wow, happy with that. Right, so side stand on. I'll grease that up and then we'll start to look at the side stand switch, getting that in place. So apologies, I got a little bit carried away on the side stand switch. So let me pan you down there so you can see that. So the side stand switch all fitted here. I didn't film it, it was very fiddly, but it's basically 3 bolts. There's 1 bolt under there, then 2 bolts in the cover, wiring routes up there, plugs in at the top next to the here next to the CDI. So with that all in place now, next thing we're going to do is get the left hand foot peg on. Okay. And club a spin through. So, foot peg in position. All we have to do now is on the other side with a washer and a split pin. So there we go, washer and split pin in. So I get the split pin bent and then that left hand foot peg fully fitted. So just moving around doing a few more jobs, so I thought headlights be a good thing to get on now. So let's get the headlights fitted and then I can position the rest of these relays that hang off the headlight assembly and make the final connections at the front, Now that's more or less the front end done, barring fairings, you know, fenders, fairings, etc. Two located dowels anyway, they pop in there. As they pop in there, hopefully they pop in. Yeah, they've gone in. Okay. Okay, side light connected there, so it's both side lights, both headlights. And now I simply have two relays left to connect. Right, so it's a bit of a struggle at the end getting the all the relays on the little tabs at the back, but we're done. All the relays are mounted, headlamp bulbs are connected, side lamp bulbs are connected, so we're good. We are good. Let's just try them very quickly. Side lights, headlights. Oh, only one headlight. That's interesting. I'll investigate that. We'll get a new lamp fitted or whatever it needs, and we'll get the other headlight working, but I think we'll chalk that up as a success. I think next I'll do the front indicators, and that'll be all the wiring at the front finished, done and dusted, and we can forget about that until we put the fairings on. So it's sometime later now. It's been quite a long day. I've got quite a bit done actually, so it was all bits and pieces, so I didn't really film it, but I'll run you through now exactly what I got done. So let's turn the camera around and have a look. So yeah, as promised, front indicators on, left and right, all the wiring tidied up behind there. What I did find, in fact I showed you on the film, one of the headlight bulbs is not working, so I've ordered a new one. That should be here tomorrow, hopefully. Moving further down the bike, I've done quite a bit down here. So we've got the airbox intake on, we've got the resonance chamber on, we've got this flappy bit on, not sure what that does, but fastens on here. That's all been repainted, all looking nice. We've got fender A and fender B, fender A and fender B in place, all fastened up. Look at them from underneath. And what I've also done is I've attached a bit of rubber here, like a mud flap if you like, just to keep the crud off the nice shiny new shock absorber. So yeah, that's what we've done. I think I showed you the foot peg, didn't I, and all that, the side stand, that's all done. So I feel like that's quite a successful day today, quite a bit done. I'm now going to go and have a cup of tea, watch a bit of TV maybe, and I'll join you again next time I'm in the garage. Please join me. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and I hope you like what you see. See you next time.